What's up, the swirl? It's your boy Tommy Maverick. Tommy Maverick. Please, if you have not liked, please like the video, subscribe, and if like the video and comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Today, I just wanted to come in and speak about this whole narrative going around. There's a new narrative going around where everybody is saying that LeBron James has no bag. This has been something that's been said several times, which in a way is kind of annoying to me for a myriad of reasons. It goes back to one of my biggest pet peeves in sports, right? Let's start off by saying the purpose of someone having a quote-unquote bag means that people have different tools to do a job, right? But most of the time, if this won't work, they'll try something else. They'll try something else. They'll try something else. So a bag essentially is how many tools you have to get a job done, right? That's where the term comes from. Now let's start out by saying when you're 6'8", 260 pounds, running a 40 and a 4.4 with a 43-inch vertical leap, your bag is already filled. There's very few things you're not going to be able to do, right? So let's start there. Second, I never understand why it's more impressive to people for someone to take 29 dribbles to beat one player, and then you got another player that can beat you in one, right? I never understood it, right? I never understood why there's so much hoopla around dribbling, right? It's like people will rather you juke 9 people and miss the shot than just blow past somebody, right? I hear people saying this all the time. Kyrie Irving is a better point guard is a better scorer than Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson didn't really have a big bag. He was just quick. It's like, that is so dumb to me, right? Because, yes, Allen Iverson was extremely quick. That's what made him so good. So is Kyrie Irving. The difference is Kyrie Irving isn't as quick as Allen Iverson. Steph Curry is not as quick as Allen Iverson. So they need to develop. The reason why they pull back so often is because they constantly get cut off. You don't see Allen Iverson having to pull back a lot because he rarely gets cut off. When he decides to go by somebody, he goes by them in a blink of an eye. They can't step. They can't move. He's too quick. So who has a better bag? The guy who has to do 29 moves to get around one person, or a person who can get around a person in one? That to me is crazy, right? You don't penalize a person because they do something more efficiently. This is the problem that I have with a lot of Jordan fans, right? They love to say that they don't like that LeBron has a very straightforward game. It's like, actually he doesn't. LeBron has a very exciting game that people love to watch. That's why he became popular. That's why Anthony Edwards is popular. They're popular because they're extremely gifted physically. They're quick. They can shoot. They can do all the things that you need to do. They just don't need a lot of room to do them, right? Anthony Edwards is not the type of person that's going to be doing what Kyrie Irving does and then jumping back and shooting. To an extent, he's not even going to really be doing what Kevin Durant does, right? Kevin Durant is the type of person, it's the same thing. Kevin Durant can't blow by you in one move. He just can't. This is not what he does. He can do it sometimes, but he's not. You can't rely heavily on his athleticism. That's not what Kevin Durant does. Kevin Durant relies mostly on his skill, and that has its place. And if that is what you like to watch, it's more aesthetically pleasing for you, then watch that. But that is subjective. I get annoyed when people start trying to push their subjective opinions as facts, because just because you believe something doesn't mean other people believe it as well, and you cannot prove that that's more efficient. So then it just comes down to what's more aesthetically pleasing to you, and if dribbling is more aesthetically pleasing to you, fine, that's cool. But I get more. Allen Iverson, to me, I could watch his game when I was a little kid. I love, and don't get me wrong, I love Kyrie Irving. But there are certain players who have a way better bag than Allen Iverson that I can't watch. I don't care that you can dribble like that. I don't care to watch it because you're not efficient at it. Meaning you're not going to score like Allen Iverson scored. You're just going, and Allen Iverson scored a lot because he shot a lot, yes. But he also is extremely quick. He doesn't need that many dribbles to beat people. The reason why this is so near and dear to me is because I see that my daughter plays soccer, so I see that way more often than soccer, where you'll see a person pull back for absolutely no reason. It's like they don't understand the purpose, right? This is because kids are nowadays taught to play sports in a vacuum. They're taught to play it with no understanding of how to use it, right? So it's equivalent to someone giving you a whole bunch. You ever get those tool sets, and then you have certain tools, and you're like, what the hell is that even used for? That is how sports are nowadays. They try to teach kids everything. I mean, they try to give kids an abundance of tools to do one job. You will see these kids, and they will spend 90% of their day training footwork, right? Wide receivers in football, footwork in soccer. They 90% of their day they're practicing footwork. You'll see them doing pull back. The same thing basketball. They're doing that. You see them doing the dribble drills and It's like, okay, do you understand when to apply that? Because it's frustrating me that you don't understand cutback lanes. You don't understand angles. You don't understand anything because you don't actually know how. You don't actually understand when and where to use that move. You just know how to do the move. So what do you get? You just get spamming moves, right? Anybody ever seen that kid, Julian Newman? That is how everybody plays now. What's his name? LaMelo Ball, right? They spam moves. And after doing 29 moves, one of them will work. But most of the time, you'll see they were going to do that move regardless if the other person went for the fake or not. If they didn't go for the fake, they're just going to spam another move until they're just spamming moves until somebody bites. When somebody, a bad defender bites, then they get their highlight reel. So now they got your Instagram picture. It looks like you're, bag so deep. It's like, no, it's not. Oh, he in his bag. Okay, do you understand? You spent forever practicing that dribble to behind your back, through your legs, you have no idea when to use it. It's just there. So you just start spamming a bunch of junk like Julian Newman when you're doing 29 moves in a row. None of them bite. Nobody bites because the majority of defenders a good defender is not even going to bite. It's just going to stand there and say, okay, at some point you got to come forward. So you can stand back there and dribble all you want, but look at that clock. There's a shot clock. Soccer is worse because there is no shot clock, right? So you'll see people just doing 29 moves, pulling back 19 times. Teammates have no idea how to get open. They're looking like, okay, are you going to pass the ball at some point? Because I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now other than just looking at you. And in the long run, that's not going to help the team. That's just going to make you look good and get you a bunch of Instagram posts at the expense of the team losing. You see it constantly. They putting up videos. We in the lab. We working. And you'll see them. They doing the same move. You spamming that move 29 times that you don't practice 100,000 times. Now you all of a sudden out on the court and can't wait to use the move and don't know how to use it properly. Back in the day, there's one thing back in the 90s where they love to say that now. The guys in the 90s didn't have back. Yes, they did. They just played basketball. They knew how to play basketball. They didn't need 19,001 moves. They had the crossover. They had the pullback. They had the spin move. They had the fadeaway. They had all these moves that were important. Just like back in the day, you had certain tools that you knew that were reliable. You knew you can use them in a myriad of scenarios. Now all of a sudden, you got a bunch of moves that do the same thing, but they just look pretty. You see everybody doing that spamming that James Harden step back three that James Harden came up with. Not everybody has it. That teardrop, everybody does it. Right? Oh, the bag is deep. No, it's not. These kids are doing it when it's not even appropriate to do it. There's nobody. The teardrop was made for smaller players when they're dealing with centers and rim protectors that stood in the box. They stood in the box, so now I have to release the ball early, but I can't hold the ball and actually follow through, because if I do, I'm telegraphing to the defender that I'm about to shoot it. So what? People like Steph Curry, they develop teardrops, meaning they let the ball go before the defender can set up. So now when you go down, the defender goes down, you just let it go real quick. These guys are doing it now when they're just wide open in the lane. Like it's the WNBA and they can't make a layup. It's like, why are you teardropping that? Don't know. They will dribble, spam a move, get past a person, them in the rim, and teardrop it. They have no idea when to use it and when not to use it. They just use it every time. So you'll see people, same thing. Half of these kids are unathletic, meaning they don't work on their athleticism at all. That's why none of them can play defense. They all just spam a bunch of moves, and then in the end they'll look around and be like, ain't I amazing? It's like, yeah, but your defense is terrible. You don't know how to rebound. You don't really help the team in any other way besides monopolizing the ball. What do you bring outside of doing something that 90% of the guys in the local YMCA can do? Shoot and dribble. Then they look all confused when it comes down, when people are like, Jeff, what's his name? Jeff T had a story where he said he annoyed the coach because he went out and he said he had scored like 20, and the guy was like, you don't play any defense. It's like they can't fathom what I scored. It's like, but you gave up points. So at best, it's a trade-off. For every 2 points you're giving us, you're giving 2 points back over them. That's if we're lucky. Most of the time, for every 2 points you get, you're giving up 4. Because more than they seeking you out on defense and isolating you. So can you work on your defense? Can you work on your athleticism? Can you get in the weight room and get some strength on you? Can you play? Can you box out? Can you learn fundamentals that don't involve Instagram posts, that people are not going to like on an Instagram post? Can you learn the freaking game? No. What we going to do? We're going to sit up here. We're going to spam 19 moves. Then all these kids on Instagram going to be like, oh, you're the greatest player in the league. Oh. He fell down and James Harden made a 3. Well, how many times did that guy at least trying to play defense? Yeah, so amazing, yes. James Harden juked him, he fell, and James Harden sunk it. How many times did James Harden get smoked on the defensive end in that game? Nobody knows. Everybody just know that one play where the guy fails and he spins the ball and shoots it. But he's a terrible defender. He don't know how to play any defense. So great that he understands how to dribble and do great moves. That's great. He spams 19 moves and he holds the ball for eternity. And this guy has to sit there and try to guard him while he's going to spam 19 moves and continue to hold the ball and get complete autonomy to never pass. So now this guy has to sit there and control it and go for the head because you're a good offensive player. So now you got to go for the head. You got to break down, make sure you don't get around him. So you got to do all these things, and you're extremely hard cover on offense. But for every one James Harden, Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, there's 29 Tyler Heroes, Nimhards, these guys who are just spamming moves, have no idea when to cut back. Allen Iverson was so good. The reason why Allen Iverson was so good at juking people is because he played football. They play multiple sports. Same thing with LeBron James. They played football. So in football, you don't have a ball. You just learn angles, meaning when something you know how to cut back. You learn cutback angles. You learn how to cut. You learn when to stop and go. You learn basketball, not so much, because you're always dribbling. So most of the time, they don't understand the reason for the crossover is to cut back. Right? Somebody cuts you off, you stop the ball, go back the other way. They stop. They step that way. You stop the ball, go back the other way. It's a counter move. Right? The dribble between your the step back, dribble between your legs. It's a counter move. All of these are moves that are dictated by the other person making a move first, and then you countering their move like a boxer. But if you don't ever spar, meaning you don't ever actually get in the ring and box, you don't know when to apply those moves. So most of the time, you're just spamming them. You don't know when, okay, so you see these guys standing in the middle, going through their legs 29 times. You realize they did that to counter. When people reach, they push the ball through their legs so that you have to go through their body to get to the ball. That is the purpose of going through your legs, not to look good on the Instagram post. But you see these guys 29 times before they take a step. Have no idea when to use it. All for them to do the same thing they could have done if they would have just dribbled the ball like this. If you watch that, this is a post going around of Brandon Jennings versus Lou Williams. Right? Same thing. 29 times through the legs. The guy, of course, at some point, the guy's standing there in his defensive position for 29 minutes. There is no shot clock. So at some point, you're going to fake like you're going to go around him. He's going to step, then you're going to pull back, go through your legs, and then step back and shoot it. You could have done that without the 19 dribbles through the leg. But it don't look as nice. It's not as neat. The bag isn't as deep. Who cares? LeBron James doesn't need to dribble through his leg 29 times. He can, but he doesn't need to do that. Give me the ball in the post. I'm going to use my body. I'm going to make my game so well-rounded that I don't need 29 dribbles. I don't need 29 shots from 29 angles on 29 different spots on the field, on the court. All I need, I can get to my spot anytime I want, and I'm too fast. If you try to stay in front of me, I'm gonna get around you. I'm too quick. And if you're quick as I am, I'm just gonna put my body on you because I'm too strong. And if you're tall enough, you're not going to be quick enough. So if I get by you, even if you can't come over my back, I'm going to slow up, wait on the contact, then get a foul. If you're small, I'm just going to go over top. I don't need 29 dribble moves. I don't need to spam 29 moves. I don't need to pull back 18 times. I don't need to counter when there is no counter to what I'm doing. When you are a player like Kyrie, who is extremely limited physically, meaning Kyrie is not straightforward fast. You can tell if he played football, I don't have any evidence to support that. He does not look like he's ever played any other sport but basketball, and that's fine. If that's the way you play, that's what you play. But if you play football, you play other sports, you understand how to cut back. That's why it was so important back in the day for you to play multiple sports. Because if you play multiple sports, there's certain things you're going to learn in one sport that you can transfer over here, and what you learn over here, you can transfer here, and here. You could understand how to do these things because you understood how to play multiple sports. You got better hand-eye coordination by playing baseball. You understood cutback angles from playing football. You understood toughness. Physical from playing football. You understood agility. You understood the ability, skill to play basketball that you could transfer over to catching. The catching in football you can transfer over basketball. The catching in basketball you could, the boxing out you can lend to football and soccer and baseball. You could. They have skills that can go over. But now these kids are only playing one sport their entire year round. So now these kids have no idea how to play any other sport. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to play them. So most of the time they're extremely limited, spamming moves that they have no idea what they were made for. They just know, if I do this, sometimes people bite. And if I can't get, you're not countering. You're not countering. You're not watching the player and countering like a boxer. All you're doing is spamming a bunch of moves. And these guys, they're putting you all over Instagram. They're putting you all over the place because you're doing the same thing you could have done without 19 other moves. You through the leg, through the leg, through the leg, through the leg, through the leg. I'm going to take 2 steps back and I'm going to shoot it. Well, couldn't you have done that without the 19 moves before that? Oh, that's right. You don't understand that you could have just tried to blow by the guy. The minute he stepped, you could have stepped back and did that same. You could have done that same thing. That's why Harden game look way more basic now, because he doesn't do what he used to do. Before, Harden would hold the ball just dribbling. Now he doesn't do that. Harden will just take one dribble, try to shoot around you. The minute you step, he'll pull back, dribble, take his 2 steps back and shoot it. Because at some point he got to an age where he realized, I don't need to do all these moves. I'm just putting more wear and tear on my body. All I need to do is pay attention and shoot. That's it. All that other stuff, it's just wasted motion. But you will never get these kids to do that. Why? Because they get too many Instagram followers. They get too many people, too many videos of them highlight tapes of them dribbling 19 times and missing a shot at the end. This is the same thing in every sport. Everybody wants to show the home run. Nobody wants to show the strikeout. So they're gonna put a clip together of them doing 19 moves and then cutting it off before they get to the goal. Why? Because they missed the shot at the end. Because the angle was bad. Because they didn't understand the angle. They didn't understand the defender was pushing them into a bad area where they know they have a low percentage shot. They don't care. They just know. They just want, it would have been so amazing if Ja would have made that. It's like, yeah, he missed it for a reason. Because the defender wanted him there. The defender was just allowing him and pushing him to where he wanted to go. And making it hard on him. Yes, he might make it a majority of the time. But that does not change the fact that the defender won, because he's going to have a way worse game if he keeps dribbling and letting the defender force him into those spots where he can't shoot. So maybe you should work on developing a game that is well-rounded to where you can't be, your bag should consist of diverse things. You don't have a deep bag because you can do a bunch of counter moves. Counter moves are not the only thing that somebody should develop in a bag. They don't get that. Everybody thinks that's what a bag is. Counter moves. But like a boxer, a jab is all you need. Sometimes it's all you need. That straight jab. Pop, pop, pop. It keeps the distance. It lets you measure the distance. It lets you get down the timing of the other fighter, the fighter you're fighting, and it allows you to counter them using the little bit of moves you do got. But all you need is a jab sometimes. You don't need to be running around throwing hooks and overhand rights for no reason, spamming a bunch of moves, hoping to land up a punching blow. Because all you're going to do is end up in a situation where you ain't going to know what to do next. Because somebody's going to counter you. And when you get locked down, what do? Just pass the ball away and then just go stand in the corner. So they don't have to do nothing else. I'm going to spam 19 moves. Oh, I got caught. Here you go. Give me the ball back. Yeah, you finally beat him. It only took you 22 seconds of the shot clock to do that. And you barely made the shot. And 9 or 10 times you don't even make the shot. So I don't, this whole thing of having a deep bag has always been troubling to me, because I think it's a lack of understanding that a lot of these guys don't know how to use the counter moves they develop. They just spam them and hope that the defender is going to bite at some point. When the defender bites, I'm going to take the shot. Nobody, the same thing, like I said, every sport's like that. Baseball, nobody just hit the ball to the open spot, right? Just get on base. You know what? You don't have to hit a home run every time you get up there. But now all these guys, they all want to hit home runs. Nobody wants to just hit it. Just take what the defense is giving you. Just make the simple play. Make the easy play. Soccer, everybody wants to do a twirl and a backflip before they pass the ball. Like, dude, just make the easy play. Make the game simple for everybody, for you and everybody around you. Why are you complicating things? It's the football, same jump. Dude, just catch the ball, two hands. Just run a simple route. Everything ain't got to be a go route. Everything ain't got to be a deep point, bang eight. You could just catch a ball and fall sometimes. Doing too much. It's the same thing, but the only difference is basketball and soccer to an extent. It's the only sports I see people praise people that take more time to do something someone else can do like that. If I can get around you in one move, why in the world am I congratulating somebody that takes 29 moves to get past somebody? Give me the guy that can get around you in one move. I don't need you doing 29 moves to get around one player. 29 moves to beat one player, and this guy can beat three in the same time and take you to beat one. Give me him. I'll take Jaylen Brown. I'll take LeBron James. I'll take Anthony Edwards. I'll take Kevin Durant. I don't need you doing 29 moves. Just beat the guy and put the ball in the bucket. But no, I'm going to spin around. I'm going to flip around. I'm going to throw the ball. I'm going to go through my legs and go back around. All you're doing is countering a guy moving 2 inches. A guy moves right one step, you pulling back. Guy moves left 2 steps. Oh, he ain't going to be able to stay in front of me. Well, he can't stay in front of AI either. But it didn't take AI 29 dribbles to beat him. He just pop up. He's by him in a second. He doesn't need that. But everybody wants to be Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving is a one of one. He makes it look a lot easier than it is. But he also understands angles. He understands how to get to his spot. He uses those counter moves properly. You guys are just spamming counter moves. There's a big difference. Anyways, please, am I tripping? Am I starting to see the game completely different or getting oldie with my response? Please let me know. Please thumbs it up if you like it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace.